Good evening. This is All India Radio and I'm Paul Thornton with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi celebrates Diwali with soldiers in Rajouri district of Jammu and Kashmir. Says vigilance and valour of armed forces keeps the nation safe. Prime Minister exhorts people to buy local products in his Mann Ki Baat broadcast, calls for promoting festival tourism. Manohar Lal, sworn in as Chief Minister of Haryana for a second term, Dushyant Chautala takes oath as Deputy CM. Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, killed in Syria, declares US President Donald Trump. Festival of Lights, Diwali, being celebrated across the country and abroad with enthusiasm. And in French Open badminton, men's doubles final between Indian pair of Satwiksairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty and Indonesian duo to be played tonight. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Rajouri district of Jammu and Kashmir today to celebrate Diwali with army troops guarding the line of control. The Prime Minister said their vigilance and valour keeps the nation safe. Addressing the soldiers, he hailed the valour of the Indian Defence Forces and said they have made it possible for the central government to take decisions which were hitherto considered impossible. He highlighted the courage and fortitude of the forces in safeguarding national security and thanked them on behalf of the people of the country for their monumental service.
पराक्रम की पराकाष्ठा करने का आपका जो मिजाज है, वो मिजाज कभी पराजित होने नहीं देता। और इसलिए आज मुझे उन वीरों के दर्शन करने का अवसर मिला है, जिन्होंने पिछले 70 साल की परंपरा में बलिदानों की भी पराकाष्ठा की है, पराक्रम की पराकाष्ठा की है और परम विजय प्राप्त कर ही चैन लिया है.
Mr. Modi added that the increasing number of visitors to the National War Memorial in New Delhi shows the respect accorded by the citizens towards the contributions of armed forces. The Prime Minister listed the steps being taken by the government to further strengthen and modernize the Indian Defence Forces. He added that the government is committed to taking steps to ensure the welfare of soldiers. On the way back from Rajouri, Mr. Modi also interacted with air warriors and personnel of the army at Pathankot Air Force Station. The Prime Minister's visit coincided with the Infantry Day celebrations to mark the landing of the first Indian troops in Jammu and Kashmir in 1947 to push back Pakistan-supported intruders. Our correspondent has filed this report.
This is for the third time that the Prime Minister visited Jammu and Kashmir to celebrate Diwali with the troops in the border state since 2014 and first after the abrogation of Article 370 provisions. Modi started the practice of interacting with troops serving in tough areas on Diwali soon after taking over as the Prime Minister in 2014 when he had spent his Diwali at Siachen in Ladakh region with the Jawans besides visiting the flood victims in Srinagar. He visited Gurez sector of North Kashmir in 2017 and spent his Diwali with soldiers deployed here. Meanwhile, the Jawans were feeling very enthusiastic, for it was a dream come true for them when they saw Prime Minister amongst them celebrating Diwali and offering them sweets today. R.K. Rana, Air News, Jammu.
Pakistani army violated the ceasefire by targeting forward posts and civilian areas with small arms and mortar shelling along the line of control LOC in Rajouri district today. According to Defence spokesperson, the shelling from across the border took place in Sundarbani sector around 6:30 a.m., prompting retaliation by the Indian Army. There was, however, no report of any casualty in the cross-border firing, which lasted for a brief period. According to official figures, Pakistan Army violated the ceasefire along the LOC over 2,100 times this year, leaving 29 Indians dead and scores of others injured. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appealed to people to buy local products during Diwali. In his Mann Ki Baat address to the nation on All India Radio, he said it will be a befitting tribute to Gandhi ji on his 150th birth anniversary.
मैंने एक बार कहा था कि हम कोशिश करें लोकल चीजों को खरीदें। हमारी जरूरत की चीज हमारे गांव से मिलती है तो तहसील में जाने की जरूरत नहीं, तहसील में मिलती है तो जिले तक जाने की जरूरत नहीं। जितना ज्यादा हम अपने लोकल चीजें खरीदने का प्रयास करेंगे, गांधी 150 अपने आप में एक महान अवसर बन जाएगा।
The Prime Minister also urged the countrymen to celebrate Nari Shakti, the power and achievements of women, by felicitating daughters. He expressed happiness at the overwhelming response that Bharat Ki Lakshmi initiative has got and urged people to seek inspiration from such examples. Pitching for festival tourism, Mr. Modi said all must try to popularize our festivals and invite people from states and countries to join festivities. He said festival tourism has its own exciting attraction globally.
दुनिया में फेस्टिवल टूरिज्म का अपना ही आकर्षण है। हमारा भारत जो कंट्री ऑफ फेस्टिवल्स है, उसमें फेस्टिवल टूरिज्म की भी अपार संभावनाएं हैं। हमारा प्रयास होना चाहिए कि होली हो, दिवाली हो, ओणम हो, पोंगल हो, बिहू हो, इन जैसे त्योहारों का प्रसार करें और त्योहारों की खुशियों में अन्य राज्यों, अन्य देशों के लोगों को भी शामिल करें।
The Prime Minister said, if one story rings from home to home and far and wide, it is the story of cleanliness and sanitation. He said, in Siachen, the highest battlefield in the world, Indian soldiers are not only protecting the borders, but also running a Swachh Siachen campaign. Remembering Sardar Patel, whose birth anniversary will be celebrated on the 31st of this month, the Prime Minister said he possessed a rare quality of uniting people and striking a balance with people who were not in ideological agreement with him. Greeting people on Diwali, he said, this time we should let light spread its radiance, encouraged positivity with a prayer to quell the feeling of animosity. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. Senior BJP leader Manohar Lal was sworn in as Chief Minister of Haryana today. Governor Satyadev Narayan Arya administered him the oath of office and secrecy at a function at Raj Bhavan in Chandigarh. This is the second consecutive term for Manohar Lal as the Chief Minister. Jananayak Janata Party leader Dushyant Chautala was sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister. After the swearing-in ceremony, Dushyant Chautala said they will carry forward the philosophy of Chaudhry Devilal and work for labourers and farmers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated both Manohar Lal and Dushyant Chautala. In Maharashtra, as BJP's ally Shiv Sena demands equal share in power, caretaker Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has stressed that the BJP is the single largest party and the party-led alliance will provide a stable government. Addressing party workers at a Diwali gathering in Mumbai, Fadnavis said the process of government formation will start after Diwali. He said BJP will elect its legislature party leader after Diwali and the swearing-in of the new government will take place soon afterwards. The Met Department has said that the situation in the Arabian Sea could become very bad in the next 24 hours following the condition of Kyar cyclone turning into a super cyclone. It said the storm could affect the coastal areas of Maharashtra, Karnataka and Goa. The center of Kyar cyclone is currently about 540 kilometers from the west-southwest coast of Mumbai. The Festival of Lights, Diwali, is being celebrated with fervour and gaiety across the country and abroad today. The festival marks the victory of good over evil. The festival is being celebrated with traditional enthusiasm and fervour in Gujarat. The state being the land of business, today is also special because of Lakshmi Pujan, which is significant among the Gujarati community. A report from our correspondent.
For Gujarati community, Diwali marks the end of the year and next day is celebrated as Festivus, that is New Year. People are busy in celebrating Diwali by making rangoli, lighting earthen diyas, burning crackers and worshipping goddess Lakshmi. Gujarat is a land of entrepreneurs. So today's day is marked as a day of Chopra Pujan. Right from small to big businesses in the state, people worship their account books today. In today's era of internet and computers, some businesses worship their computers and laptops as well. People today throng to local shops to buy marigold flowers and garlands for tomorrow's New Year celebration. Aparna Khut, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Tamil Nadu, people woke up early in the morning and took the traditional sesame oil bath. performed special puja clad in new clothes, and exchanged sweets, pleasantries, and good wishes among one another. New movies added colour to the festivities. More from our correspondent.
The dark skies were brightened with colourful display of dazzling firecrackers on the day of the Festival of Lights. Deepavali remains the principle that good triumphs over evil. The day also renews hope in the lives of the people. Houses are decked up in earthen lamps to dispel darkness. It also strengthens family bonds, as more than 7 lakh people have travelled long distances to rejoin their families on Deepavali. Jai Singh, AAR News, Chennai.
In Sri Lanka, the festival is being celebrated by Hindu Tamils and expat Indians with traditional fervour and gaiety. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called on President Ramnath Kovind at the Rashtrapati Bhavan this evening and exchanged Diwali greetings. US President Donald Trump has greeted the Indian community on the occasion of Diwali. He said the observance of the Festival of Lights throughout America is important as it binds people together. On Friday, Trump celebrated Diwali at the Oval Office with a small group of Indian Americans. The festival is also being celebrated in other parts of the US. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange climbed 157 points or 0.4% to trade at 39,215 in the Muhurat trading on the occasion of New Samvat today. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange added 49 points or 0.4% to 11,633. Markets will remain closed tomorrow on account of Diwali. Pollution levels in the national capital shot up today and are expected to enter the severe category tonight due to firecracker emissions, unfavorable weather, and a significant spike in stubble burning. According to the Central Pollution Control data, the air quality index of the adjoining areas of Ghaziabad, Faridabad, Noida, and others have also shown a deteriorating air quality, as most of them fall under poor category. In its advisory, System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting and Research has advised people of the sensitive category to avoid all physical activity outdoor. The fugitive leader of the Islamic State group has been killed in a U.S. military operation in northwest Syria. Announcing this at a press conference at the White House today, President Donald Trump said Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi detonated his suicide vest during a raid by Special Forces late on Saturday. He said U.S. Special Forces executed a daring nighttime raid and accomplished their mission in grand style. He said no U.S. soldiers had been killed, but a number of Baghdadi's followers also died.
He was the heir apparent to Al-Qaeda. Terrorists who oppress and murder innocent people should never sleep soundly, knowing that we will completely destroy them. These savage monsters will not escape their fate, and they will not escape the final judgment of God.
In badminton, the Indian men's doubles pair of Satwiksairaj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty will take on top-seeded Indonesian duo of Marcus Gideon and Kevin Sukemoho in the finals of the French Open in Paris tonight. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its weekly bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak tomorrow will bring you a discussion on significance of BS6 vehicles for cleaner air. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. Listeners can ask questions to the experts sitting in our studio on toll-free telephone number 1-800-11-5767. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi celebrates Diwali with soldiers in Rajouri district of Jammu and Kashmir, says vigilance and valour of armed forces keeps the nation safe. Prime Minister exhorts people to buy local products. In his Mann Ki Baat broadcast, calls for promoting festival tourism. Manohar Lal, sworn in as Chief Minister of Haryana for a second term. Dushyant Chautala takes oath as Deputy CM. Islamic State Chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi killed in Syria, declares US President Donald Trump. Festival of Lights, Diwali, being celebrated across the country and abroad with enthusiasm. And in French Open badminton, men's doubles final between Indian pair of Satwiksairaj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty, and Indonesian duo to be played tonight. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And that is all in the news at night. Good night.